Happy Wednesday, Sean. So Sean, Joe and I are very glad that you enjoyed your bachelor party. It was a lot of fun. I am still recovering, still tired. Not used to staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning anymore. No, it's not what I do. I go to bed. It was a blast, and you deserved it. It was awesome for the three of us just to hang out again. That cigar, by the way, was called a Hemingway short story. So, at least it's kind of literary. During laser tag, as we were all getting our asses kicked by those 10-year-old girls, Red Nose, I nearly concussed myself by running straight into a wall and gave myself whiplash. Anyway, Sean, it is October. As you know, fall is one of my favorite months. Love the cooling weather. I love the changing of the leaves. I love the fact that I get to wear frumpy cardigan sweaters that make me look like an old woman. And I also love Halloween. It's got to be probably my favorite holiday of them all. So since it is the month of Halloween and I love it so much, I thought today I would do kind of a mini countdown of some of my favorite scary things. Fox News, scary books, short stories, movies. So Sean, I know you don't like scary things, so I apologize if this video or list makes you uncomfortable at all. Don't suck it up. Maybe this will inspire you to explore the dark side. I've always liked horror, scary stories, and things like that because I think it really tells us something about our deep-seated psychology. The horror genre is certainly nothing new. It's been around for a very long time. Just look at Grimm's fairy tales to see how we've been freaking out children for hundreds and hundreds of years. And without further ado, let's get into my list. Start with the spooky short stories. The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Black Dot. The whole new meaning to getting stoned. Next, The October Game by Ray Bradbury. I read this story every year to my students on Halloween. It's a disturbing domestic story about a man who feels he needs to get back at his wife for perceived wrongs. He decides to use his daughter to do it. So you gotta throw a Poe story on the list, Mask of the Red Death, because one, it's one of the first Poe stories I remember ever hearing. I think the story and the message of the Mask of the Red Death really resonates today. Ebola. America is Prince Prospero. For sheer creepiness, I just have to throw on Joyce Carol Oates' Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? It's an odd, ambiguous stalker story like you've never read. I can't forget Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He's calling from inside the house! Hi. How are you? Novel! Personally, I'm not a huge Stephen King fan, but I gotta give props to his novel, The Shining. It has to be one of the scariest books I've ever read. Here's Johnny. The Shining, of course, is about a writer who goes mad, which I can clearly relate to. For a while when I was younger, I wasn't a big reader, and it was actually my sister's introduction to me to an author named Dean Koontz that really got me back into reading. So The Watchers is probably my favorite book of his. I wouldn't say it's his scariest. So I'm probably going to go with Intensity. It's one of the fastest paced books I have ever read. A serial killer and a kick-ass woman protagonist and weird animals in the woods. Now the next novel may not be necessarily classified in the horror genre, but I think it fits. It's The Road by Cormac McCarthy. You got suicide, murder, and cannibalism. What more do you need? How about post-apocalyptic America? Huh? How about that? Out to the movies and have ourselves a boo! They're here. I would like to take this moment to thank my cousin Sheila for showing me Poltergeist when I was like 7 years old and scarring me for the rest of my life. Seriously, I slept with a nightlight till I was like 32. Wings. Props to my personal favorite zombie movie, 28 Days Later. I want some wings, wings, wings. Also Hitchcock's Rear Window. And that classifies as a horror movie, but I found it pretty scary. Still not as scary as my Jimmy Stewart impression. What's wrong, Martha? Oh, Jimmy. And then 3 kind of comedic horror movies that I really love. Cabin in the Woods, Joss Whedon doing a horror movie. Shaun of the Dead. Zombies have never made me laugh so hard. Of course, Zombieland. Best Bill Murray cameo ever. I also want to mention the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, where Joe and I a few years back spent the night hunting for ghosts. That was awesome. Want to do more of that. Highly recommend it. Maybe talk more about it later in a different blog. So Sean, there's my list of scary things. Speaking of scary things, less than 2 weeks till your nuptials. So happy week, happy haunting. Until we meet again, peace out.